Disclaimer: this fan fiction is only for entertainment purposes, so please don't take it seriously and don't be offended. It's just a story made out of my imagination, so it doesn't define any character in real life. I hope you will enjoy the story and leave positive comments without hating the author and character. I don't count any pixels, but the storylines are completely mine. I will do voiceover, so you can mute it if you want. Hope you will like the video.
You slowly open your eyes and yawn, stretching your arms as the alarm rings again. A small smile appears on your face because finally, after many days, you are going back to college and returning to your normal routine. Just then, your father walks into your room with a gentle smile on his face. Mr. Choi, or ready to go back to college? Ian, yep, Dad. You answer with a smile, but you notice how his eyes soften when he looks at your forehead. You can tell that he's still worried about you, and how could he not be? You just recovered from a terrible accident that happened while you were coming back from college. Ian, I am all better now, Dad. Mr. Choi, I know. My daughter is brave. Come downstairs. We are waiting to have breakfast together just like before. He says this and quickly walks out of the room. But before he leaves, you notice his eyes slightly wet. Their sight makes your heart heavy too. You still remember the day you were in the hospital, how you saw your father cry for the first time. Since that day, he became more protective and extra careful with you. You let out a deep sigh trying to forget those painful memories. Then you get out of bed and start your morning routine. You were taking your things out of your locker when a loud bang behind you made you flinch. Your breathing became heavy as you suddenly felt someone's warm breath on your skin. Already scared, little cracker? You bite your lower lip the moment you recognize that voice. Turning around with an annoyed expression, you found out you were right. It was him, your childhood enemy and a college bad boy, Jungkook. He was standing in front of you, smirking. Your heart ached seeing him after so many days. But Jungkook's smirk slowly faded when he noticed you weren't reacting the way he had expected. Jungkook, what? Don't even have the energy to talk back? Or have you forgotten how to fight with me after resting all these days? He teased, but you simply ignored him and tried to walk away. Suddenly he slammed his hand on the locker, catching you between his arms. You looked back at him but still said nothing. Jungkook, in mind, come on, say something, Jan. I'm dying to hear your voice again. You blinked. You heard his voice, but he hadn't moved his lips. You looked around, confused. The whole hallway was empty. Now you were more shocked. Jungkook, looking for your voice cracker? She is still here. He whispered, gently touching your neck near your throat. You quickly slapped his hand away and glared at him. Your hands and eyes still work just like before, but what about your voice? Don't tell me you have forgotten how to fight back. Then he looked at you with a deeper expression, his thoughts continuing. After so many days, her eyes on me again. Just me. Now I just want to hear her sweet voice. Again you heard his thoughts, but he didn't say a word. You were sure of it. Still you ignored it and pushed him hard, making him stumble back. He caught his balance and looked at you in surprise. What do you want to hear, huh? That I am thankful you didn't even show your face after my accidents? Or should I say, I am glad you didn't care if I lived or not. Your voice shook with anger as he continued. You didn't even call me once. Not even once. Even classmates I barely knew came to ask if I was okay. But you, someone I have known since childhood, you didn't even come once to see me. Thanks for making me realize how much I actually matter to you. You looked at him with pain in your eyes. Even though he had always been your so-called enemy, a part of you believed there was something special between you two. But when he didn't show up even once, your heart broke. Jungkook, what are you talking about? I came when... He suddenly stopped, realizing what he was about to say. You came? Wow. Then you must be the first human being who knows how to turn invisible because neither I nor my parents saw you coming. You said coldly. And again, your whole body froze when you heard his voice inside your head. Of course, I am the biggest fool. I came at night when everyone was asleep just to see you. How would you know? I stayed by your side and talked to you for hours when you were unconscious, Jan. You looked at him suspiciously, confused. Then he smirked again and spoke. Looks like someone's hurt. Did my absence really matter that much? In mind. Of course it didn't. After all, that Yunbu came to visit you every day. Why would you care about me? Why would I be angry if I didn't care? Of course your absence mattered. You snapped, grabbing his collar. But your eyes widened as you realized those last words. He never said them out loud. You had heard them in your head again. His thoughts. Jungkook stared at you, just as shocked. Before he could react, you let go of his collar and hurried away, your mind spinning with confusion. You didn't understand what was happening. Jungkook watched you walk away in silence, then smiled softly to himself. Jungkook, I hope I never have to see you walk away from me again. If only one day you had choose me. I just wish you could hear everything I never said. You were sitting on a chair in the canteen with your friends. They were busy gossiping and trying their best to make you smile, but your mind was somewhere else. You were too lost in your thoughts to even understand what they were talking about. Hey, what's wrong, Ian? You look really lost today. His voice pulled you back to reality. You just shook your head slowly and replied in a low voice, nothing. Just then Leah, your other best friend, playfully hit your arm with her elbow, a teasing smile on her face. Looks like someone hasn't seen the special someone today, and that's why she's so dull. Don't give him so much importance. Why would I care about someone who didn't even care about me? You said while rolling your eyes, sulking a little. Bro, if this is how a guy behaves without caring, then I want someone like that in my life too. Leah's head with a soft smile. Yunbu looked at her silently, something heavy in his eyes. If only you knew. You looked at Leah with confusion, your eyes asking her what she meant. She chuckled a little and leaned closer. I know you don't know the full story. It's okay to be upset, but you should have at least asked him once where he was, what kept him away. What else could it be? He was probably out enjoying life, partying with his friends. Or maybe he was fighting for justice for someone. Her words made your heart skip a beat. You suddenly felt like you knew where this conversation was going, and today for once you wished you were wrong. After your accident, every bit of evidence suddenly disappeared. But it was Jungkook's father who took up your case. And all this time, Jungkook was collecting proof, helping his dad to prove you innocent. Because the guy who hit you, he told the media you did it for fame, since he is a famous influencer. Your eyes widened. You couldn't believe what you were hearing. That all of this had happened in such a short time and you had no idea? But the reason the case turned around was because Jungkook was the main witness and also the one who took you to the hospital. Cut her off. Wait, hold on. What? Who took me to the hospital? You asked, completely shocked. Jungkook, seriously? Don't tell us you didn't know that either. Everyone in college knows. Jungkook did everything and he won the case. That guy is in jail now because of him. You gulped, guilt filling your chest like a heavy weight. All those harsh words you had said to Jungkook flashed in your mind and your throat tightened. Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Not even my parents told me anything. Because Jungkook made sure no one did. He told them not to tell you, just like he told us. The doctor was very clear that you shouldn't take any kind of stress even after getting started. Jungkook didn't want you to go through more pressure. She paused for a moment, then added softly. That's why you were never called to court. That's why no one troubled you. It was all because of Jungkook and his father. Your heartbeat quickened. Your eyes started twisting with unshed tears. You stood up quickly, not waiting another second. Without saying a word, you rushed out of the canteen. You had only one thought now. You had to find Jungkook. You were searching for him everywhere. Your eyes scanned the whole area until finally you saw him. Jungkook was standing in a corner, talking with his friends, laughing lightly at something they said. Without thinking twice, you rushed toward him and grabbed his wrist. Before he could even react, you started walking away, dragging him with you. He didn't say a word. He just followed you quickly, letting you lead. His friends who were watching everything started teasing and hooting loudly. He blushed at their teasing but didn't pull away. Instead, he looked at you and smiled shyly. "Everyone's looking at us," he said in a soft voice, still walking beside you. "So what?" You replied firmly, glancing at him. But as your eyes met his, your cheeks heated up. You suddenly heard his voice again, but it wasn't out loud. "Hi, I don't care. I can maybe even make you mine in front of everyone proudly." Your heart skipped a beat. You quickly looked away, pretending you didn't hear it. You kept walking, pulling him along while he followed with a small smirk, quickly biting his lower lip. He was curious and a little excited. Jungkook kept staring at you as you stood there, trying to find the right words to say. "What's your plan, sweetheart? Dragging me to this quiet spot and looking at me like that? If you are planning to take advantage of me, let me remind you I know karate," he said playfully while covering his chest with his both hands dramatically. "Karate? Yeah, from that 1 hour YouTube video, right?" You replied, raising an eyebrow. The next moment, both of you burst into laughter. You looked into his eyes, and once again your heart skipped a beat. "Finally, my Jan is laughing." You smiled gently. That voice again. It was clear now. Every time you looked into his eyes, you could hear his thoughts. Just to be sure, you cupped his face gently and stared deeper into his eyes. He stopped breathing for a second. "I don't think your intentions are very pure right now." "In mine. I wish if they weren't." You let out a small laugh, now completely sure. You could hear his real thought, his real feelings. "Think something. About me. Anything," you said softly, watching his ears turn red. "Just to be clear, are you seriously allowing me to think anything about you? Because my mind doesn't have limits. If your thoughts go dirty, I will chop you into little pieces and throw them to stray dogs." He warned, leaning a little closer. He leaned in too, his eyes fixed on your face. "With pleasure, but how will you know what I am thinking?" "Shut up and just think," you replied, still holding his face. His eyes quickly glanced at your tiptoes and he chuckled before looking back into your eyes. "You look so perfect holding me like this, Dan. Your beauty is addictive and I am drunk on your presence. You are a masterpiece and I want to make you mine." Your cheeks burned hot, your ears red. You took a deep breath and spoke quickly, trying to stay calm. "So, what do you think?" "That even from this close, you still look terrible," he teased with a straight face. As expected, you lightly hit his arm with your small fist, making him laugh again. "Liar." He heard you clearly and smiled warmly. "Then you tell me, what did I think?" You looked away shyly, taking a few deep breaths. Then you faced him again. He was already watching you, biting his lower lip. "Thank you, and sorry." He looked confused. "Thank you for everything you did for me, and sorry for the things I said this morning. I was just really hurt." He smiled gently. Even though he didn't want you to know what he had done for you, but after hearing your angry words earlier, he felt it was better that you did. Still, he stayed quiet. When he didn't reply, you turned to leave but stopped after a few steps. There's hosting a party tonight to celebrate my recovery and to thank everyone who stood by me. Hope to see you there. You walked away without waiting for a response. Jungkook watched you go, then placed a hand on his chest and let out a soft laugh. How can someone be so cute, Jan? Jungkook stood by the side, talking politely with your parents. They were once again thanking him and his father for everything they did, the support, the protection, the case. Jungkook nodded with a gentle smile, trying to stay calm and collected. But just then, you walked in, wearing a black dress. And for a second his world stopped. His eyes widened slightly as he took in the sight of you, more stunning than he had ever imagined when he chose that dress for you. His breath hissed in his throat, and his heart skipped a beat. You looked like a dream, like something out of a painting. He was about to step toward you, a smile already tugging at his lips, until he saw you hugging Yumbu. His smile faded, his feet froze, and slowly his eyes dropped to the floor. The warmth in his chest vanished, replaced by a bitter ache. That same old fear gripped his heart, the fear of losing you, of not being enough, of you choosing someone else. Of course, why would she choose me when she can have someone like him? He clenched his jaw, forced a tight smile as he excused himself from your parents. He couldn't stay. He couldn't watch you being that happy with someone else. Not without breaking. Not tonight. So he turned around and walked away, disappearing into the other side of the party to breathe, to hide the pain that was now burning through his chest. But what he didn't know was that you saw him. Your eyes caught his retreating figure just as you pulled away from Yunbu's friendly hug. And for the first time, it hit you. He didn't walk away because he didn't care. He walked away because he was jealous, because seeing you with someone else hurt him. Your heart fluttered at that realization. A soft smile appeared on your lips as warmth rushed to your cheeks. Without saying a word, you excused yourself from the group and followed him, your heels clicking softly against the floor, your heartbeat getting louder with each step. Jungkook opened his coat buttons while standing near the pool. He was looking at the light with a deep sigh. No one was in that area except him, and he didn't even knew when you came there too. Are you practicing being a statue, or did you just forget you are at a party? Your sudden voice broke the silence, and he turned around immediately. His eyes sparkled, seeing you there, while a soft smile tugged at his lips. I won't doubt even for a second if someone told me that you are waiting for your Princess Charming here. My Princess Charming already came to me. Your cheeks flushed a little as you heard his inner thoughts again. But ignoring it, you took a little spin, showing him your dress. See how good this dress is? You know, someone gave me this secretly on Valentine's Day. I still don't know who it was, but one thing is for sure, his choice is really good. You said while looking straight into his eyes, and just as you expected, his thoughts again proved you right. It is. That's why he is so crazy for you. Well, I'm sure that man is a crazy Roger. That's why he gave the dress secretly. If he had any guts, he would have given it himself. He said with a shrug, trying so hard not to show how happy he was seeing you wearing the dress he gave you. You took a step closer. Or maybe he's just shy. Maybe he just wanted me to feel special on Valentine's. Maybe he just wanted to prove his existence, that he's also there in my life. Your tense eye contact made his breath hissed. He immediately looked away. Well, I can make a guess who gave me this. Maybe it's Yunwoo? No, he didn't. He blurted out instantly, then widened his eyes at his own reaction. I mean, he would have just told you if he gave it. So, definitely it's not him. It was never him. You took another step toward him, standing very close now, and his breath hissed again. You are right. It wasn't him. Why would he even give me something like this? We aren't lovers. We are just good friends. And he loves Leah. He always did. Leah loves him too. They just didn't confess yet. You said it all on purpose so he would know. Know that it was never about you, Lou. It was always him. You always liked him. A big smile appeared on his lips, but he quickly hid it with a cold expression. So what? Why are you telling me this? He closed his eyes tightly, fumbling at his crimson cheeks, gave him away. Just to remind you that I am still single. I always was. Let me remind you one more thing. Picking fights to get attention doesn't scream I love you. It screams I love drama. That's like saying, hey, notice me? While hiding behind a trash can. So, don't ever do that with your girl. He wiped his inner cheek at a words hit him. Yeah, he did that all his life. Why? Why are you even telling me this? He shrugged and you chuckled. Just an advice for your future welfare. You said and before he could say anything, you grabbed his collar, pulled him close, and covered his lips with your hand. Then you leaned in, kissing your own hand instead of his lips. It was just your hand, but it was enough to make him lose his. As you pulled back, he stumbled in shock, then lost balance and fell straight into the pool, making you laugh out loud. Jungkook came out of the water, heart still racing, and pulled out his shocked phone. Shockingly, it still worked. He immediately dialed a number. Hello? Mail helpline? Yeah, it's me, the famous Jungkook who just got assaulted. A girl just stole my first kiss and I didn't even get to enjoy it. Why are you telling me this? And which fool calls the mail helpline after getting kissed? Bro, there's a whole night ahead. So, go ahead, enjoy, and let me enjoy too. Jungkook, his best friend, who was also at the party, responds from the other hand. Just called to tell you that I had my first kiss with my John while you still don't have a girl. Die single, bro. My life is sad. May your love life be as stable as my bank account after a night out. And as a blessing, I am cursing you to have a partner who loves you so much that you will start missing being single. Not gonna happen. Now enjoy alone. He ended the call and looked at you, still laughing loudly. You already knew he called Jimin just to meet with him. You could imagine the chows happening inside the party now. By the way, I don't keep anyone debt with me. I return it with interest. So, who's stopping you? You said as he ran his hand through his wet hair, still in the pool. His cheeks, ears, neck, everything was red. He wasn't even making eye contact with you anymore. I won't kiss anyone other than my girlfriend. You heard him clearly. You smirked, widened. Then you can surely kiss me. His eyes widened. He stared at you, blinking, stuck between smiling and being in total shock. Is that a yes? Are you saying that you are my girlfriend? If only you are asking me out. And I'm free tomorrow evening too. You said with a small blush at the silent blue street and happy between you. You both could hear each other's racing heartbeats. Then you heard your mother calling your name from the party. You turned to Reeve, smiling. He suddenly shouted from the pool. Sharp 5 p.m. I will come pick you up. You left blushing without replying. But he already got his answer. He grinned, then he started dancing in the pool, splashing water everywhere like a madman. Jungkook just got a date with his Jan. And tonight was the best night of his life. The end.